So let's talk about your pod. Congratulations on that. Just as if this just in, The Office is extremely popular. Have you learned anything about the show, the hit show that you were on, and has definitely come to be so good for you in your life? I mean, and to you and with you. Did you learn anything through this process?
I mean, it really was, Rich. Started out as an exploration. Like, why is this show? And we were the top show, scripted show on NBC for most of the time we were on, the latter 2/3. Mm-hmm. But, like, why is this show exploded now? Like, why is it way bigger now? And, in fact, like, based on any metrics you can figure out, like, the most watched show in television today. And we haven't filmed anything in 8 years. And it was really about that. And there was a lot. I mean, people's candidness with me, their time that they get. I sat down with most people for 2 to 3 hours and just went through it. And people at this point were willing to go back through it. I think the biggest takeaway for me, because it's been a question, like, why are the kids so into it? Like, why are there 12-year-olds coming up to me and saying all of these lines to me? Like, why is this happening? And we thought legit when the show was on, like, this was something we talked about because the ratings struggled early on. Mm-hmm. And we were like, there was something like, there are 200 million Americans who work in offices. Okay. So if like 10% of those, or even 5% of those, like, watch our show, we're going to be okay. Like, we'll be on the air for a while. And I think what we truly weren't thinking about were the similarities between an unreasonable boss who makes his employees do unreasonable things, sitting next to people you don't choose to sit next to for year after year, is so similar to an unreasonable teacher making you do unreasonable things as students, sitting next to the same group of people year after year. And the similarities between school and being stuck in school with people and being stuck in that office, it really resonates with young people. That's the biggest takeaway for me.
Well, I mean, especially since Brian Baumgartner here on the Rich Eisen Show, you know, your character, Dwight, obviously the one that John Krasinski played as well, Steve Carell, and so much more, Ed Helms when he was on as well. It's just the childlike behavior. I mean, the pranks that were played, the childlike behavior in an office setting is similar also to school when, you know, you're trying to maintain a certain amount of decorum and you don't want to, and that makes it a little bit more, you know, I guess divisive or something that you're getting away with something. Maybe that's what it is too, because it's laugh out loud funny.
Subversive.
Right.
Yeah, the show is subversive for sure.
Yeah,
and so I think that makes it kind of cool and but I just had so much fun going back with people who, you know, I mean, everybody's grown up, you know, had kids, moved away. You know, John Krasinski, for example, you know, he lives across the country now. And, you know, just being able to get back together with people that now, you know, we used to spend 12 to 13 hours a day with, and now it's usually a text here and there and during fantasy football season or whatever. But it was so fun to go back and talk about that time.
I've got Brian Baumgartner here on the Rich Eisen Show, The Office Deep Dive with Brian Baumgartner podcast, available on iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes releasing every Tuesday. There's also an oral history of The Office that you can check that one out as well. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.